Happy Halloween, everyone! I figured if I was going to make a video before my 1000 sub special, it would definitely be for Halloween, more so since it's my favorite holiday. Most of you know and follow me for vintage Nintendo content, specifically Mario Party, so I decided to make a video on all of the spooky boards in Mario Party and which is the spookiest one out of them all. So without further ado, let's get into it. Picking the spookiest board in each Mario Party isn't going to be very difficult because just about every single Mario Party has at least one board on the creepy, scary, eerie side, if not full-blown made for that, with the first Mario Party being no exception. Bowser's Magma Mountain easily takes the spot for spookiest board in the first game. You might think about Luigi's Engine Room, but Luigi's Engine Room doesn't really give spooky aesthetics, so Bowser's Magma Mountain takes it for the first game. Mario Party 2 has more than one board that could fit the definition, being Mystery, Horror, and Bowser Land. I would consider Mystery Land and Bowser Land as well if it wasn't for the sheer fact Horror Land is named Horror Land. If I were talking about all of the spooky themed boards in Mario Party, these two would be on the list because they could easily fit the definition. However, I am looking at the spookiest boards, and because of that, Horror Land triumphs over Mystery and Bowser Land for the second entry. Mario Party 3 differentiates itself from the rest of the games with its boards, being the fact that it has dual boards as well. None of these dual boards really look that spooky though, and there's only two boards I could consider when looking at all of them from Mario Party 3. Woody Woods is pretty accurate with the spooky aesthetic, but it can't even come close to Creepy Cavern. A little disappointing none of the dual boards got a different look though. Mario Party 4 also has two potential boards that we could consider, while Bowser's Gnarly Party could easily be put on the list. Once again, it's thwarted by a spooky-themed board, this time around the ghosts of the franchise, being Boo's Haunted Bash. I will admit this is my favorite Bowser-themed board so far, and it's easily the spookiest Bowser board yet. It's just that there's better boards that fit the mold for this video, so Boo's Haunted Bash it is. Mario Party 5, the Mario Party 5 that was so good it didn't need shops, also didn't need a spooky-themed board just like the first game, so Bowser gets a free pass again with his map, Bowser's Nightmare. To be fair, this is a really good idea for a dream-themed Mario Party, and the name very much helps distinguish it from the rest of the boards. Without a doubt, Bowser's Nightmare takes it for the fifth game. Mario Party 6, my personal favorite, is where things get a little different because not only does this game have a solo mode with boards designed for single-player use only, but there are two boards that fit the definition of spooky, one in both party mode and solo. Egad's Garage and Towering Treetop might be considered, but I don't see either of those as viable as fair square, and I mean, is it even a question? It has a spooky vibe and aesthetic down to a T on almost every instance of the board, especially at night, and I really like the look and feel of the map. It gives me industrial vibes like Bowerstone from Fable or Jack Horner from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and I find that vibe more eerie and spooky than some towers surrounded by lava for one player. To please the nitpicking people, I'll put Inferno Tower in the wild card category so you can add or remove it since it's technically under a different board mode. Either or though, we do have one board that works for Mario Party 6. Mario Party Advance. Nobody really talks about this game, and I didn't play it as a kid because I didn't know about it either. That's how little it was talked about back then too. It has one board and it's a combination of different places into one board. Do we still include this because it is the only board in the game? No. It does not fit the definition, being a spooky-themed board. It's a combination of different areas, and thus is a mixed board of different looks. It does not count, making this the first Mario Party in the video to not have a spooky-themed board, but I'm pretty sure everybody that played this game kind of expected that, so let's just move on. Mario Party 7 follows on the footsteps of 6 in that it doesn't have a specific board themed around the spooky theme. So naturally, Bowser's map is going to take this spot, and his map for 7 is Bowser's Enchanted Inferno. There wasn't really much to say about 7 for this video because it doesn't have a spooky-themed board, so Bowser's Enchanted Inferno it is. Mario Party 8 is the first Mario Party in this video to not only have a spooky-themed board in it, but also have a Bowser board that isn't really spooky, so we can easily determine which one fits the mold. Bowser's Warped Orbit is more so space-themed this time around, so the only option we have for 8 is King Boo's Haunted Hideaway. And it is nice to see Boo get another board made after it. Mario Party DS is far different than its handheld predecessor in that it has multiple boards and one now themed around the spooky aesthetic. Kamek's library comes close, but it's more so a library aesthetic than spooky. Once again, Bowser's map takes the cake with Bowser's Pinball Machine, and honestly, I'm a huge sucker for Nintendo-themed pinball stuff, Bowser and Waluigi specifically. You don't see that very often, something pinball-related with Nintendo looks, and I absolutely love so much Mario-themed pinball stuff, specifically games. Well, time to finally sound like the old Nintendo fan yelling at a cartridge. We are now entering, in my eyes, the second era of Mario Party, aka post-Golden Era Nintendo. Mario Party 9 shares the same Bowser board aesthetic with 8, as in it's space-themed, so we can't consider Bowser's board, especially when there are multiple other boards that could fit the category for this game. Bob-omb Factory, Boo's Horror Castle, and maybe Magma Mine too? Maybe. Even with Bob-omb Factory considered, it's still in the name. I have to give it to Boo's Horror Castle. Mario Party Island Tour, the next handheld Mario Party, has more similarities with the DS entry than you'd think. Once again, Kamek almost has it with his board, and this time around, his board does give more of the aesthetic with his carpet ride than his library. However, Bowser also has a board in this game, so by that logic, Bowser's peculiar place takes the cake in the first 3DS title. Mario Party 10 was easily the roughest L to take in the franchise. Aside from Bowser mode, there isn't really much to this game, and I'm not including the amiibo boards because they're not boards, they're just a damn square. Haunted Trail is the only thing we could even consider from this game, so yeah, it fits. I miss amiibos. Like, I know they still make them here and there, but I miss them generally. Mario Party Star Rush. Oh, this was a rough time. World 2 has 3 levels with the spooky look, but World 2-3 is easily the best looking one, so it's the one we're going to pick for Star Rush. One thing I will note about this era of Mario Party is that it's arguably the worst franchise on the 3DS. Neither of the 3DS Mario Parties were really good, especially with DS being so incredible. It does get a smidgen better though. Mario Party the Top 100 doesn't really have a board, so even though it is a decent way to end handheld Mario Party on, there's nothing it has to make the list for this video, so it's only getting mentioned. When Super Mario Party first came out, I didn't really care for it then, and I don't really care for it now more so, but even with that, it's still got good things going for it. It easily has one of my favorite boards in all of Mario Party, being King Bob-omb's Powder Keg Mine, and crazy enough, this is the first time Kamek has had a board that isn't themed around his character, and could have been the one time in this video Kamek actually gets his board on the list, since Bowser is a playable character and doesn't get his own board because of it. Yet, Kamek's board is gold-themed, which is not spooky, so King Bob-omb's board it is. One thing I will give this era of Nintendo is that it did appreciate smaller characters more often, like Chain Chomp, King Bob-omb, and Kamek. Oh, poor Koopa Kid. Mario Party Superstars is easily the better Mario Party Switch game between the two I've mentioned thus far, and comes with boards already established in the franchise previously. Woody Woods from 3 once again is a contender for the title it's in, but once again, it's toppled by a map that has spookiness in its name, being Horrorland from 2. Looking at both of them, it's kind of obvious to tell which one takes the cake for Superstars. Mario Party Jamboree is the latest Mario Party entry as of this video being made, and like many other Mario Party boards, Bowser's map easily gets the title in this entry, since most other boards don't really come close to it in terms of spookiness. We've been lacking on a lot of spooky boards the past couple games, haven't we? I wonder why. And there we have it! We've gone through every single Mario Party game and found the spookiest board in every entry. Some didn't even have a spooky board, surprisingly enough, and many of the games had Bowser's map take that role too. At the end of the day, there were many more boards dedicated to the spooky aesthetic than I thought there were, and I'm not including Bowser's boards with that either. I wish we had more recent, original, spooky-themed Mario Party boards, but there's a lot more that I wanted from Nintendo the last decade, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And I do believe that wraps it up for this year's Halloween special. Apologies again for the absence this year. I do plan on making the 1000 sub special next month, so keep an eye out for that one, but until then, as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and have a great Halloween, everybody.